Chapter 11. I can't believe this, Annie said, awe in her voice. What? Jackie asked. I told a wicket that Mommy was working on something top secret, and there really is a top secret folder. What does it mean? Marcia said. Who cares about some stupid folder? Rebecca said. Someone's been in our home, and they left us this wretched fruitcake smell. I care about some stupid folder, Annie said. She propped her spear against the wall, then lowered herself into the black leather seat behind Mommy's desk, as should we all. But why? Rebecca countered. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, of course it means something, Annie said. Everything means something, even when that something isn't important. Think. So we all thought. The only sound in the room, the sound of cats purring in their sleep, loudly. Who is the only person we know, Annie said, that makes fruitcakes? The wicket, Jackie said, the gleam of knowledge entering her eye. Exactly, Annie said. Too bad I made my smooth move of lying about Mommy working on something top secret in front of the wrong person. How do you mean? Marcia asked. Think back to that night, Annie said. Think back to how interested the wicket got when I said Mommy was working on something. It was true. And, Annie went on, what sort of person asks a question about the work of a scientist? That's never happened to us before. Everyone asks questions about Daddy's being a model. They think it must be glamorous, I suppose, but no one asks questions about Mommy's work. That was true, too. And who makes fruitcakes anyway? This is just the way I figured. Annie paused, causing us to lean forward. Yes, we prompted. The way I figure it, the wicket's always been curious about Mommy's work. Only we never noticed. But as soon as I said top secret, she waited for an opportunity. She must have followed us, tampering with our car so we wouldn't surprise her as she tossed Mommy's study. A light dawned in Annie's eyes. She must know we're alone. But couldn't she have come when we were at school, Marcia asked. You'd think so, Annie said, but even bad people can be scared. Who knows how criminal minds think? We certainly didn't, but we realized we were going to have to learn. Maybe she wanted to kill us in her sleep, Petal said. But what did the wicked want so desperately that she was willing to go to such lengths, Jackie asked, ignoring Petal. What could Mommy have been working on that was so important? That's the thing. Annie lifted the top secret folder once more, opening it to reveal its emptiness. Whatever it is, it's gone now. It may be a mystery, Georgia said, but it doesn't have to be. How do you mean? Annie asked. There was real fire in Georgia's eyes. She went behind the desk and grabbed the spear from where Annie had propped it against the wall. I say, Georgia said, we go over to the wickets right now and demand she tell us what's going on. We can be like the thumbscrew boys. We'll torture her if we have to. I'm afraid we can't do that, Annie said sadly. Then she patted Georgia's arm and gently removed the spear from her grip, although I do appreciate the gesture. But why can't we? Georgia countered. There are 8 of us and only 1 of her, plus she's barely as tall as we are. We can take her. Or we could blow up her house, Rebecca suggested. It's not a matter of size, Annie said, ignoring Rebecca. She tapped the side of her head. It's a matter of brains. We need to be smarter than she is. She's probably expecting us, so we'll need to bide our time like she did. But why, Dorinda asked. Even I don't understand the idea behind waiting. I'm with Georgia on this. I say we go over there and smash her. What good would that do? And how would we be better off? She'd know we were on to her, and we'd be no wiser. No, there was something she came here for tonight. We need to wait until she's out of the house and then search her place. Wow, Georgia said earnestly. It must take all kinds of energy to be inside your brain right now. Annie smiled for the first time in hours, it seemed. Thank you, she said. The smile disappeared. But it is exhausting thinking this much. We all thought about that for a moment, about what it must be like to be Annie right now. Then, into the sound of the silence made by our thinking, we heard someone crying. We looked around at the usual suspects. Petal? No. Zinnia? No. It wasn't any of the people we thought it might be. It was Rebecca. What's wrong? Annie asked gently. This! Rebecca gestured wildly with her arm, the tears streaking her cheeks. All of this! What this do you mean? Annie asked. Maybe, Rebecca said, wiping her at her eyes fiercely. You should be asking what isn't wrong, since nearly everything is. I still don't understand, Annie said, but I'm trying to. It's just that tonight makes everything seem so final, Rebecca burst out. Before, she brushed fresh tears from her cheeks with a sleeve, I could tell myself that Mommy and Daddy disappeared in some magical place, but that they'd be coming back any minute now. It was just a matter of waiting. Nothing awful had happened, not really. It was just a game. But we all thought you were glad Mommy and Daddy were gone, Jackie said. In fact, we thought you wanted them gone forever. No, Rebecca shook her head. I only wanted them to be gone for a little while. I wanted them to be gone long enough for me to eat a can of pink frosting and slide down the banister and swing from the chandelier, but I never wanted them to be gone forever. She paused. But all of this, with the house getting broken into, and the wicket smelling like fruitcake, and that empty top-secret folder, is all too real now. Mommy and Daddy didn't disappear on a lark. They disappeared for a reason. And shh, Annie soothed her, stopping Rebecca's words as she took her in her arms. It's still a game, she said. We just haven't quite figured out how to play yet. Then Dorinda made us all cocoa, while Annie, and Georgia moved around the house, making sure all the doors and windows were locked. Even Robot Betty seemed to feel sorry for us now. When Dorinda asked her to clean off the kitchen table, she actually did it properly. I yelled at Daddy Sparky and Mommy Sally, Annie said, at least taking her seat at the end of the table. Fine pair of watchdogs they are. It's not really their fault, though, is it? Zinnia said. Then she paused, setting off a round of yawning among us. We were all so tired. It had been a long day. The refrigerator said this is our last cup of milk, Dorinda said with a sigh, taking a sip of her cocoa. It was good cocoa, with mini marshmallows floating on the top. So what's our next move, she asked Annie. I am not sure, Annie admitted. But this all started with that note on New Year's Eve. The note said we each had to find our power and our gift. I've got the first, but I still don't have the second, she yawned. And none of you have your powers or gifts yet. We sipped some more cocoa. So what's next? Dorinda asked again. Bed, Annie said. Bed.